Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We are in the midst of two wars, and we're still building, which is not smart, but I am not a smart cat. New South Wales isn't default. We'll have to rely on New North Wales from here on out, I suppose. Alright, Jodhpur's out of the war. And the Maya secession is sorted. So, where does that leave us? Forces on this front seem rock solid. This one are okay, and this is the big one. We do have a minor front with Mewar. Alright, so. Army of East Africa. You're going to go to here. To Ceylon, if they can get there. Oh my gosh, they're going around the other way. They're going around the outside. Around the outside, around the outside. That's fine. And our other armies are going to this consolidation front in the south here. In the south of India. I'm actually going to also route these armies to the other two fronts. I want to make sure that they don't get completely borked as we advance here. Alright. Netherlands has left the war. Sadly, I did not get my tasty Guyana, but it's okay. Force comparisons are looking a lot better. This force comparison is looking a lot worse. But my armies are on their way back, happily. We may lose this front if this battle continues to go badly. Yep. Alright, that's fine. I'm going to put this army over here. That's rubber mastication. That's a good tech to have, because it means the Caner is out the war. Hold on. What's going on over here? Persia wants to steal Herat from Kandahar. Kandahar wants to revoke Persian claims. Alright. Alright. That's fine. That doesn't affect me. But it could. Can I get a trade agreement? Nope. Not worth it. Sikh Empire sides with Kandahar. Russia sides with Persia. Okay, alright. Oh, the Sikh Empire is really small. Yeah, I guess British Raj has been eating bits of Sikh Empire for a while now. This front is not going super great. China's got a lot of troops around here. Kandahar backs down. Oh, interesting. They didn't want to kick off a war between the Russians and the Persians. Which I suppose makes a certain degree of sense. Finally, we got the Army of East Africa coming in here. Fronts in the south seem good. Front in the north... So what front? This is the Grand Front. And this... Hold on. So this front is that whole area. But this front is that whole area. Which... I don't know, friends. I feel like something's going on here. So I'm just going to keep my forces in the south pushing forward and make sure we don't wind up in some sort of headache. I think if we can consolidate these fronts, that'll be better. I know China's focusing over here, so I'm not sure what the broad set of cases we're dealing with is here. Unfortunately, it looks like India's China, I believe, is pushing these areas. But I don't think that's going to impact much of anything. Britain does have war support protection. Oh, no, they don't. French Empire sides with Sulu. That's fine. Sulu is a tempestuous country. We are gaining in cash, which I'm pretty happy about, even though we're fully mobilized, which I am pretty happy about. British Raj is losing war support much faster than Britain. They're losing 5 per month, whereas Britain is only losing 3 per month. Well, it's not much faster, but we've got a big head start. We got another rubber rush in North Angola. That's very good. Ooh, the two USAs are not embargoing each other anymore. So I think, and British Anglo-India... The British Raj doesn't have war support protection at the moment. So as long as... So Travancore has war support protection. Where is Travancore? Here. I knew my going after the south was the right call. It's okay. If India backs out, Britain will just naval invade Travancore, and that'll be fine. It won't be that big of a deal whatsoever. Plus, China's got to bail out on this thing eventually, right? Yeah, they don't have war support protection either, so... Alright, beautiful. And that's the end of the war, and now we got the cash. We're getting the money. I am feeling really, really good about how that went, because this this situation is really going to help me get... That's actually not that much in terms of war reparations, but it's really going to help me get... I think it's going to go up in a little bit, because their taxes are going to go up. Uh-oh. A Taming Amazonia event. Currently in our possession are vast tracts of pristine, undeveloped Amazonian lands. While some laud its wild beauty, others see naught but an untamed frontier overflowing with rubber, longing for the gentle touch of progress and capital. Take this down. We stand upon the edge of what could be the very lungs of the planet itself. The terrible wonders that might be inside are ours to behold, to conquer, and to subjugate. As darkest Africa has yielded to... sir, I believe I forgot my pen. Perhaps we could dictate when we return to camp? Imbecile! Bah! Use mine. Now from the top, and do not interrupt. Fortune smiles upon the brave. So that gives us an event called Exploiting the Amazon. This basically involves... We got two buttons here. Develop Amazonian State and Exploit Amazonian State. I'm going to read you the description, then I'll sort of explain what's needed. While rubber and its properties have long been known to us, traditionally its uses have been limited, and consequently commercial demands have been low. However, with the Industrial Revolution in full swing and new uses for rubber being found by the week, calls for increased production have soared. Steps must be taken to transform the Amazon from an inhospitable jungle into an intensively developed land capable of meeting the demands of commerce. So, this will complete if we have exploited Amazon rainforests on all states. Basically, when you get to a certain point, you hit the develop button, you wait a couple of years, then when you get to another point, you hit the exploit button, and then it gets the exploited Amazon rainforest. So currently, Guyana has just the Amazon rainforest trait. Minus 30% to state construction efficiency and infrastructure, and plus 25% hardwood output. Both of these traits are marginally better. The developed and the exploited are marginally better, but they're not... They're different. They're not just... I think they still have disadvantages associated with them. So, to get to developed, you need to have an urban center level of 2 or greater, and a rubber plantation count of 10 or greater. And then, to get exploited, you need a level 4 urban center and a level 15 rubber plantation. So that's how it works. Not too complicated. I'm gonna... Let me see, I've got all this cash. I think I am going to continue to hold not building for, I think, the rest of 1884. I'll just allow the investment pool to continue to drain. Great Britain's guaranteeing our independence. That's wonderful. We already have an alliance, so I'm not too worried about that. Alright, and there is dynamite. Extra resource discovery chance. That's interesting. So right away, I'm going to swap all my mines over to using dynamite, because dynamite is safer than nitro, as well as being more productive. Increasing the productivity of those gold mines also should increase my minting? Question mark? Let's see. Pontianak. That's a Dutch East Indies situation. I don't need to deal with that. And this is Great Britain versus Mashona. This is a colonization rights war. I'm not going to get involved. You know, it's sort of a surprise that nobody has colonized around here except for us or the British. A little bit of a shock. So for tech now, we're working on getting the tier 3 military ones. And we're still pretty far below our innovation cap. I might go ahead and throw some more universities under construction. Just temporarily. Alright, they're in development. I'm going to build that. I'm also going to go ahead and... I shouldn't need to subsidize coal mines at this time. I'm going to flip over another one of my construction sectors, I think. The ones in Beira. This is going to significantly increase the price of steel and whatnot, especially glass, but it'll be good for the economy. We are still reducing our... Wow, we've made a really good dent in our national debt. That's actually really solid. And these should get finished pretty quickly. Remember to stay hydrated. Maybe I should build some more glassworks. I'm going to cut this glass trade route for now. I think we have the capacity to fulfill our glass needs within the customs union. I'm going to build some more glassworks in Alentejo and some more in Extremadura. And then I'll build up steel mills in Alentejo and Beira. We're basically doing the same industrial expansion that we did a little while ago. I know I said I was going to hold off building. It turns out I'm not going to do that. We are gaining cash due to getting those sweet, sweet war reparations from India. And we are continuing to increase the everythings of our everything. Trade routes are looking basically productive, so I'm feeling pretty pleased with that. Okay, not eating through a reserve that much. Let me see what the private construction... See, they're not building glass and steel, and that makes me sad. How much of our clothes come from abroad? Because again, that's still not a great number. I would love to improve that situation. And what about the furniture? That's perfectly reasonable. We can definitely get that amount of furniture from overseas. I need to build more textile mills. I think that's just kind of the end of the joke here. Oh, I should have a higher production method for my frickin' explosives factories. That's all of them, right? I only have the one set of explosives factories? I don't. I have multiple. Alright. Everybody get using the new thing. Where does that put explosives? That's... Okay, explosives are reasonably good. Do I have the new production method for munitions plants? I do. Switch. Again, none of these are very productive, but it's because we're not currently in a war. Could go to gas streetlights. Let me see. That's going to cost 1 coal. We got 62 urban centers. Yeah, we'll do it. That's right. This production method adds infrastructure now. And then this one, I can turn engines into transport in a lot of these areas, which I think I'm not going to do yet, but I'll look into that at some point, sometime when we're more sort of focused on that type of development. So, let's see. Every glassworks produces 50 glass and 20 porcelain. So producing 4 is only going to increase output by 200. So I actually need 4 more over here. And then for steel, these are ludicrously productive. These produce 90 steel a pop. Oh, I actually don't have open hearth method. Or open hearth process. Do I want to... I don't think I can afford to put all this on hold while I research that, though. Because my situation is currently not at the point where... I don't have enough innovation to do that. Spain is going after Bhutan. I cannot be bothered with that situation. So let's take a look at my own subject states. Braganca, I could actually make a dominion. Maguindanao, I cannot. Interesting. They had high liberty desire for a bit, probably because I was low on convoys. Let's tap Oman. Oman is a country I want to make into a dominion. Now, if I made Braganca a dominion, that would put Oman above 75, and I don't want to do that. So part of the reason I don't want them above 75 is because if they're above 75, they can request an additional increase in autonomy. And if they request an additional increase in autonomy and you say no, then that actually makes them more... That increases their liberty desire by 20. So it's a little bit of a like a positive feedback loop if you do that. As you can see, I'm queuing in a few more of each of these. I'll put the steel mills in Estremadura, splitting up between all these territories in the home area. I've got a little bit of authority to play with, and a shortage of silk. I'll set silk to protect domestic supply. I think I'll also... I'm going to take a quick look at the customs union here. Alright, let's set some of these textile mills to only making... Oh, well, I can't do any changes with that, so that's fine. It's gonna have to do. But I really could use a silk source. Anti-Russian League is very salty because I didn't do the thing they wanted. What does that impact? The frickin' landowners. Well, that's okay. Not that big of a deal. Let's make some changes to the laws. If we go from religious schools to public schools, that would be good. But actually, if we went from charity hospitals... No, private is not as good. Because private reduces... is only an increase to the standard of living of the upper strata. Whereas charity increases it for the lower strata. Also... Yes, and the reduction in mortality is based on wealth, which is not, particularly in a society that's as poor as ours, not as useful. Religious schools, I could go to private or I could go to public. I think I still, wow, getting stronger intelligentsia would be really good. But I want to keep that literacy up. So again, these are both providing 30%, whereas this is providing 1.5%. So in order to... Wealth 20 is the break point, basically. Private education is better for everyone with a wealth of 20 or above. And I just, at this point, not even my middle strata is exceeding 20. So I think public schools are definitely the way to go. This will upset the Catholic Church, but that's okay. If I play my cards right, it'll be fine. Let's go back to our... construction situation, still working on putting together the necessary infrastructure to increase our our production methods for construction. Oh, France is going after Dynam. They want to conquer the whole country. Sadly, I don't think I can get involved in that situation. That's just going to have to be France's situation. Yeah, I know, Dynam, I know, but it is what it is. I can't do anything about it right now. See, Travancore is independent but part of the British Empire. Yeah, it's down here. Well, I can't get involved in that, so we'll not worry about it. I'm also going to go ahead and declare neutrality on this. Another thing going down in Pontianak, which I'm going to similarly disregard. So, why do we have such a high stall chance on this? Do the industrialists dislike public schools? No, they're neutral. Oh, interesting. They made a really strong movement. I don't know why I didn't even notice that. But we'll see if this can happen. We might need to do private education. But I don't desire that. Alright, we are a little short on bureaucracy at this time, so we need to get our another one of our government sectors flipped over. We'll do... Yeah, we'll do all of them. Standardized filing system, ahoy. Curriculum disagreements. Disagreements within the government about what should be taught in the new public schools have brought implementation of the reform to a standstill. These classes may have been well suited to tutoring the noblemen 2 centuries ago, but believing they would serve a broader range of students well in this day and age is outright lunacy. And you mean to say our modern alternatives would serve them better? You would have the classical subjects phased out in favor of ignorance and poor grammar. Force a compromise? Intelligentsia and industrialists mad, reduce enactment chance. Take some time to work out the differences. Increase enactment time. Or rearrange the law to create an independent body for this. Just one setback. I'm going to increase the time. It'll take as long as it takes. I don't wish to invest in you, Bhutan. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. A bunch of things happened, and then they disappeared. That's wild. I wonder why that happens. Anyway, behind bars, the arrest and alleged ill treatment of a disorderly protester affiliated with the movement to preserve religious schools has sparked resentment among his compatriots. Further demonstrations have been arranged urging his release. Prison was a miserable place. Iron bars, stone walls, and cold floors. In the past few weeks, the guards had taken to casually tapping their batons against the bars when they passed by, making sleep impossible. He could not even escape in his dreams, as the tension he felt in the waking world began to bleed into his sleep as well. And all this for pushing a policeman away? He'd regretted it at first. Now, though, perhaps he could see that every one of them deserved that and more. Perhaps an early release for good behavior can be arranged. Salty industrialists reduce political movement radicalism, or will not make exceptions because of some hooligans. Intelligentsia happy. Increase movement radicalism. I'll increase the movement radicalism a little bit. That's fine. It's only 23. Again, if it winds up being a huge issue, we'll just bail out. Again, the temptation to wage wars continues to increase. I suppose I could also infamy reduce the autonomy of Burma. Since I'm not going to... If I did that, it'd be 15 infamy. No, that would expose me to a whole situation. They might accept, but I don't want to deal with that. It's 15 infamy. It's quite a chunk, and I don't want to get going with that. How do we have a shortage of ironclads? because they can't hire. Alright, here's what we're going to do. The consumption taxes on luxury clothes and tea are just not that productive. I'm going to use that to do some greener grasses campaigns in my imperial core. And do I have any other decrees running right now? No, I do not. But I am suppressing the landowners, and I do need to continue doing that. Because they've gotten really strong. Oh, and the Catholic Church have joined the Regenerator Party. That is really not great. This is going to be ugly. This is going to be an ugly election, I tell you what. So what can we do? What can we do? What can we do? What can we do? I don't really have a way of getting myself more authority. So I'll cut the coffee consumption tax as well. And we'll do the same thing. I do need to get these greener grasses campaigns running and running continuously, because that's the only way I'm going to have the amount of labor that I need to continue to maintain the productive industries that I need to have here. I say as I check and see I've got peasants, but that's hiding. Commander commends Civic Coalition. General Depaiva has made public statements in support of the historic party, bringing into question the political neutrality of the military. It is my duty to defend the nation and its interests. Politics is as much a part of war as battles and logistics are. I don't see the problem with doing my duty and doing what I can do to make sure that those who are best fit to protect the nation end up being the ones in charge. Geronimo Depaiva can say what he wants, extra momentum, or reprimand him. Good soldiers give orders, they don't take them. I'm going to say he can say what he wants, because we're going to keep the historic party in power. That's the industrialist party. So let's see how things are looking in the campaign. Looking about the same as before. I'm sort of shocked that the Catholic Church being in the Regenerator Party hasn't impacted things that much. Untrained hands. Children working in the furniture manufactories in Beirut suffered injuries trying to operate the machinery used in production. After examining the boy's hand, the doctor sat back down, turned to the mother, and sighed deeply. Well, I'm afraid your son is never going to become a great musician, he said, but then again, perhaps that was never one of his more likely prospects. Keep children off the factory floor, reduce dependence income, or these new industries need all the employees they can get, increase mortality of laborers. Ugh, neither of these is very good. I'm going to say keep children off the factory floor. I think that's just, there's a line. And it's an arbitrary line that only exists some of the time. But if I can't enforce arbitrary standards in my own Let's Play, then what is the point of having a Let's Play? Am I right? Fellas? This number's gone up significantly. Yeah, so part of the reason this happens is because when you're getting war reparations, countries increase taxes to meet the war reparations, and that, because it's a percentage of taxes, more cash flows to you. Rubber rush. This place seems to be most effective. This is Portuguese Mozambique. I am currently producing rubber, so we'll set this to encourage exports. Where can we export this to? Britain. Alright, it's fine. But we do have vulcanization. I think that means our tooling industries... No. Or we have rubber mastication. We don't have vulcanization yet. Alright, that's fine. Where are we vis-a-vis the end of the episode? We are basically at the end of the episode. Do I want to go a little long? Or do I not have time for that? I don't think I have time for that. So, I think we're going to put a pin in it as of now. So, we fought our war in India. We've significantly reduced our national debt. We're continuing to grow our capacity for steel and glass. How is our capacity for steel and glass? Its capacity for lead's pretty low, which is interesting. Steel and glass are both not quite there yet, but I think we're at the point where I can flip the rest of the construction sectors over to steel frame. I'm going to queue in a few more lead mines. If I recall correctly, I was mostly mining lead in Siak. No, Siak is my sulfur source. Burma. Burma is my lead source. and it's only the Shan states. So go ahead and cue that in. Those will get built really fast. All right, my nerds. I've had fun. I hope y'all had fun, and I'll see you on the other side.